Yes, it's an interesting question, and this is why I put that movie Contempt up a couple of months back, Les Mépris, in French. It's because you see during that film, he starts off with a total devotion of his woman, as Brigitte Bardot, and then by the end of the film, he's just got her complete contempt. And you see kind of blow by blow what happens, and it's down to his choices and the way that he didn't show up. But what happens really is that he doesn't see her at any point during the film. He's asking her what's wrong, and she won't tell him. but he can't actually feel her waver and her loss of trust. So I think for me, what would I do about it if I'm with a woman and she's starting to lose interest in me? The first thing is prevention. Prevention is curative, like in the condom adverts. Paying attention to the quality of the connection that we have and feeling into her all the time, every step of the way. And I think I've been quite natural at doing this, and I think it actually comes from a background of fear, like being left or dumped or humiliated one day is a core fear inside of me. So I think every time I've been with a woman, I've had my kind of anxiety spidey senses on that particular, like the level of her feeling. But as time goes by, it becomes less neurotic, of course, and it's much more of an unconscious kind of noticing, rather than something I'd pay attention to. And certainly at the beginning of a relationship, like if I was dealing with the levels of anxiety that you've been going through lately, I'd certainly be thinking every day, like, where's her devotion at on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being steak and blowjob day, 0 being, not responding to any of your phone calls and leaving you without any comment. I'd be feeling into that all the time. The level of devotion, how into it, how engaged she is with me and our relating. And that naturally wavers, right? So that's why you don't want to pay it too much credos, and it can be bad to get neurotic about it, because you start taking it personally when she's actually just got a lot on her plate. So you recognize that there's quite a lot of wiggle room. But, if my girlfriend has an off day and it feels like the connection is a bit low between us, no problem. If she has a second one, then I start to get curious. And usually what she'll do is, even if she's in the midst of a really difficult time, at the end of the day, if I've been kind of cast aside and ignored, basically, she'll come up to me and give me a hug and kind of make amends. And without saying so overtly, she will show me that actually she recognizes that I'm here and it's not my problem, and she loves me and she's grateful for my presence. And certainly by the end of a second day, like, she's doing that, or if it goes through a second day, she would probably say, like, yeah, I'm going through some stuff, and if there's a lack of good feeling or interest in her, if she just gives the commentary and the reason, that keeps the connection going, right? I don't have to freak out or think it's anything to do with me, but she can keep me in the loop. So that's a communication practice that both of us have with each other. If one of us feels like we're disconnecting and we need to disconnect from the other one and not really show them much energy, then as a few hours tick by, if we start to get the recognition, oh wow, my bad mood might be contagious and she might start taking it personally, we'll let the other one know clearly where we're at. So if I don't get a response like that for a few days, I'd be like, okay, something's totally up. And I would just say, listen, it feels like where are you? You seem to be going through a difficult time, or you feel far away from me. What's going on? Just bring it. I bring it pretty firmly, but also pretty casually like that. I think in Luca's scenario, and I don't know much, of course, about Luca's scenario, if I get the sense that she's fading away from me and we don't have maybe years behind us, shared house, living arrangement behind us, and I noticed her start to fade, particularly with the devotion aspect, her eagerness to engage. If I woke up one day and I could really feel that she was fading away from me, like it's not a bad mood, it's not a difficult time, it's not work stress, but her heart is actually kind of leaving the room. I mean, first of all, as men, we've got to be really real with ourselves that this can happen. Because if you're living in a cloud of denial, you're never going to accept the telltale signals when they're actually there. So it could happen to anyone. And if she starts pulling away, or no, not if she starts pulling away, if she has already pulled away, I feel like her devotion has left the building. I might say something really clear, like, and just in a couple of sentences, what we've had has been wonderful for me, and if for any reason your heart's no longer in it, I'm never going to force you to stay. I adore you. I want you to know that you're free. I think some of the most powerful moments for me in relationship are always the moments when we realize, we kind of mourn its finitude. We realize that it is going to end. And by saying quite clearly, hey, like, by calling out, that this thing is going to end one way or another at some point, even if it's when one of us dies, calling that out gives a radical refocus and presence. Oh, wow, hey, thanks for saying that. Thanks for, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, I've been feeling a bit distant from you. I'm not sure this is what I want. You've created a safe place where she can actually bring that truth and take a choice to stay with you or to fly, right? You're the kind of hand with a butterfly in it at this point. I think when it comes to strong polarity, relationships based with a strong sense of polarity. Damn, it's late at night. My thinking is not so quick. But it's like if the relationship kicks off with a lot of polarity, or if the relationship kicks off and she's got it in her mind, like this is a big one, this is a goer, this is my, like, potentially my man for the rest of my life. If she loses trust and faith in your leadership and she stops kind of in her soul being your follower and trusting you absolutely, and she kind of gets that recognition, actually, I'm not going to follow this man everywhere he's going to go. And bear in mind, this is very mammalian. Like, this is subhuman, completely sub-rational. Like, if you stop being the king chimp in her pack and she starts to not fully respect your guidance and your direction, often a woman can make a decision very, very quickly that she's not going to be with you anymore. Because it's like, once it's gone, it's gone. Once that devotion, that acquiescence to your decision and your direction is no longer a thing for her, she can make her mind up very, very quickly that she'll get out of the relationship, and there's nothing you can do about it at that point. And there's not a lot you can do to even have a friendship. There is often a kind of, this guy doesn't exist for me anymore, that goes on with these situations. I think maybe in Luca's case there's more, maybe a bit more friendship, and maybe you can transition out of this into like a friend's, maybe you've got more resonance. But when it's been quite polarized, often when the relationship ends, the woman especially realizes that you guys have got nothing in common if you haven't got the polarity that kept you together. Yeah, hope this is interesting to you. I tune in with my woman every single day and feel into these questions, not neurotically, just as if you're a gardener, you check how your plants are doing and put a douse of water where needed. All right.